What's up? Black men can't be spectators to their own destruction. Take action. Now, I have a movement called the Black Discipline Brotherhood, and this movement is for black men to really become the strongest version of themselves on every aspect when it comes to health, when it comes to knowledge of self, which is black history, I would say, sexual energy and relationships, finances and making money and the career we want to have and the lifestyle we want to have, and just overall confidence, right? And I think that this is something that needs to be in our culture more, right? So it's so many times that, like I've said before in many other videos, we have a culture of self destruction, and we have to have more men push back against it and start reconstructing and reshaping it, or creating a new culture where we're going to be prosperous. We're going to have a culture that actually helps us all go up, not go down. Right now, we have a culture we all kind of go down. We get this lower level state of being, and we're more in our carnal mind than we are in our creative mind as black men. And I think that there's a lot of black men who we want to be cool and we want to be accepted so much, right? And we'll dumb ourselves down, we won't use our creativeness or our intelligence because we don't want to be seen as a nerd or corny or lame or any of these things, because we don't want to be rejected by our community and by our people. But what we have to do is we have to have men who are going to step up. And I think that me posting this and me trying to find those men is a very important thing. And yeah, it opens me up to being for people to talk about me, for people to probably personally attack me, for people to say, "Oh, he's just weird. He always, like people just to go in on you really." But I think that if you have a purpose and you want to see a change, you have to be a part of it. And it was a saying I heard: either you're a part of the solution or you are a part of the problem, right? And I think with black men, if we want to really see each other rise, that's what's necessary, and that requires a lot of things. But there's so many times where we just only care about ourselves. We don't care about seeing black men rise. We want to see ourselves rise, but we don't care about every black man rising, which is the problem, which shows that you have a lack of care for your fellow black men. And I think for all of us to reach the finish line, we all have to care about each other. We all have to put in effort for us to all rise, not just individually. Obviously, we got to put in work to become better individually. But as a community, we got to help each other get better individually. You get what I'm saying? And I think that I'm a person that don't just want to see a couple black men rise. I want to see all the black men in my community, the men that I grew up around, the black men in the entire world. I want to see all of us come up, because that's when we dominate. That's when we control everything. That's when we are the creators. It's not about controlling everything, but it's the sovereignty and being able to create and have a culture that really reinforces us being better and being accepted, but in a way where we're going to become better and we're hardworking and we're truly at a place where we're thriving. And I think that that's the important thing. And it's too many men who will go up against what I'm saying like it's a bad thing. But a lot of men will go up against a guy who's saying we need to change, we need to do better, we need to have culture where we're reinforcing being better. But it's a lot of black men who will get up and be like, man, that's corny, that's lame. So I ain't gonna try to help this fellow black man improve just because he sound corny or he sound this and he don't fit inside of the stereotype, and it's something I ain't never seen before, right? But what one thing I had to understand, that the men who want to see who want better in life and want to see black men do better, they're part of the solution. They're the missus getting up and taking action and saying something about it. And it's also another thing that I heard. I can't remember exactly how the saying went, but it was basically along the lines of, whatever you're doing for black people now, that's what you would have been doing during slavery, right? And a lot of us aren't doing anything to try to help black people. And it's not just about, it's not just about just seeing us do better, but it's about just really being a part of us improving. And I think that overall that starts with the black man improving in every aspect of his life, so that he can have the life that he wants and that he can thrive and so that he can just really be in control and have that sovereignty, not just over himself, but over his community. Because a black man is a leader and he is a creator, right? So that's the thing we have to understand. I'm not a guy that wants to be a spectator anymore. I don't want to be a guy that's sitting on the sidelines just seeing stuff happen. And I think that when you start to look at our history more and you start to look at how the world is currently, you start to see how the higher powers really look at black people. And this is not about becoming political, right? But it's about being revolutionary and being a part of something that's bigger than yourself, and understanding that, we are powerful. We can do that. We can get out there and change the world. But it's so many men who want to stay in that culture of self-destruction of, I gotta be a player, I gotta be a thug, I gotta be all of this type of stuff. And I know it's a lot of black men out there, they're gonna already have their opinion set. You get what I'm saying? Um, you know, and they was gonna forever be, looking down on you, talking about you, instead of trying to go towards something that's actually gonna help us, instead of going towards the things that actually hurt us, right? And I've said this many times before, you know, we accept things that are self-destructive, but the things that are creative, the things that put us in power, the mentality that's supposed to put us in power, the man who's actually hardworking and, he has an integrity and dignity, he's the man that's ostracized. He's the man that's like, oh, he's this and that, right? And I think that there's so many factors that play into a man not being accepted, because he's actually a person who who is a good person, right? And I think that that's a part of the problem. And I think it's a lot of men out there who think exactly how I think. Not exactly, but we're extremely like-minded. Basically, we're like-minded, and they want to see the same thing that I see. And I think that's the men I'm calling out to, for us to come together, not only over a phone call or on the online community, but in real life, because that's where we're powerful. That's where they really don't want us to be. They don't want us to really come together in real life, right? And start working on stuff, start to get towards a solution, right? And I'm not the man that's most competent. I'm not a guru. I don't have all the knowledge in the world, but I know it's power when we share knowledge, we collaborate, and we start to work towards a solution towards things, and we start to really help each other, right? And I think that that's the real power. And obviously, we're all gonna grow in knowledge. We're all gonna grow in value and how much we can impact other people. And I think it starts with having that mentality and that desire to do that, and then start to enacting on that step by step. So I think that that is the truly powerful thing, and I think that uh that's what's really gonna happen. That's gonna be a powerful movement. So that's pretty much all I got to say. Peace out.